Now let's learn the methods or to solve the equations with variables in the denominator. So far whatever sums we have seen, the variables were always in the numerator. Now let's see what happens when variables are in the denominator, how to solve such sums. Before we start with the exercise from the textbook, let's understand the concept. Okay, let's take a sum. 1 upon x plus 1 upon y is equal to 8. 4 upon x minus 2 upon y is equal to 2. Let's see how to solve, how to find the values of x and y. What is the basic difference between this sum and the sums which we have done before? As I said, here the variables are in the denominator. You all can see x and y are in the denominator. Moreover, tell me, just think, are these equations linear? Are these equations linear equations? The answer is no, they are not linear. Why are they not linear? Actually, 1 upon x, 1 upon y, as per the law of indices, it can also be written as x raised to minus 1 plus y raised to minus 1. 4 upon x is 4x raised to minus 1 and 2 upon y is 2y raised to minus 1. Right? So, it is very clear that the degree is not 1, the degree is minus 1. And because the degree is minus 1, it is definitely not a linear equation. So, now the question is how to make these equations linear. Because if it is not a linear equation, we will have to first make them linear equations, right? Normally, whenever we see a denominator, we multiply throughout by the LCM, as we all know, as we have studied before. Denominator dikha, multiply throughout by the LCM. But here, the LCM of x and y is xy, right? And the problem is, xy is not a linear term. Xy is not a linear term. And because xy is not a linear term, you cannot multiply throughout by xy, because if xy remains there, it doesn't get cancelled, it will still not become a linear equation in two variables. So now what to do? How to solve? Always remember one thing, children. Whenever you have sums like this where there are variables in the denominator and you cannot multiply throughout by the LCM, the only way to make them linear is by substituting. So what we need to do in such sums is substitute. But now the question is, what are we supposed to substitute? Let's see now. Understand this. The first equation is 1 upon x plus 1 upon y is equal to 8. The second equation is 4 upon x minus 2 upon y is equal to 2. Look at the second equation. 4 upon x can definitely be written as 4 into 1 upon x, because 4 into 1 upon x is 4 upon x. And 2 upon y can definitely be written as 2 into 1 upon y. Right? So, just for your understanding, not to be written in the exam, we are just writing the equation in the form of 4 into 1 upon x minus 2 into 1 upon y is equal to 2. Now, look at both the equations, the first equation and the new equation. Can you all see something is common there? In the first equation and the second equation, 1 upon x is a common term. 1 upon y is also a common term. 1 upon x is common, 1 upon y is common, and because 1 upon x and 1 upon y is common, we will substitute 1 upon x is equal to, say, a variable p and 1 upon y as, say, a variable q. So the concept is, whenever we see variables in the denominator, we can't multiply because the LCM is xy. So to make them linear, we need to substitute. Substitute what? Substitute whatever is common. In simple terms, substitute the common denominator. Denominator is x, a common denominator, 1 upon x is equal to p. Denominator is y, 1 upon y is equal to q. Clear? When to substitute, what to substitute. Now let's see how to substitute. Let's substitute in the first equation. 1 upon x will now be replaced by p plus 1 upon y be replaced by q is equal to 8. Second, 4 into 1 upon x will become 4p. So remember this, 1 upon x is p, so 4 upon x is 4p. Okay. 2 upon y will become 2q. 1 upon y is q, so 2 upon y is 2q is equal to 2. Now we are getting two equations which are definitely linear equations in two variables. Now you can use any method to solve it. You can use either the substitution method to solve it, or the elimination method to solve it, or the cross multiplication method to solve it. The choice is absolutely yours. Let's solve it by substitution method. Chalo, let's revise the substitution method. What we used to do in substitution method, let's quickly go through it. First is we number the equations. So let us number the equations as equation number 1 and equation number 2. Now what do? Consider one of the two equations. Which equation are we supposed to consider? Whichever is simple. You can consider any of the two equations, but it is better to consider the simpler of the two equations. Here, let us consider equation number 1 because that is definitely looking simpler of the two equations. So let's consider equation number 1, p plus q is equal to 8. Right? Now what do we do in this equation? We shift one of the variables to the other side so that we get something in the form of either p is equal to something or q is equal to something. You can shift any of the two variables, either shift p to the other side or shift say q to the other side. When we shift q to the other side, we get p is equal to 8 plus q goes there, becomes minus q. So it's p is equal to 8 minus q. So we are getting the equation in the form of p is equal to something. Once you get this, don't forget to number this as equation number 3. Now what is the name of the method that we are using now? Substitution method. What do we do in substitution method? We substitute. What do we substitute? Equation number 3. Where do we substitute? Whichever equation was not considered. Here which equation was not considered? Equation number 2. So let us substitute equation 3 in equation 2. So in equation number 3, in the place of p, let us substitute equation number 3. So what do we get? P4 bracket p, in the place of p what do we write? 8 minus q minus 2q is equal to 2. Now let's open the brackets. 4 will get multiplied to 8, we will get 32. 4 will get multiplied to minus q, we will get minus 4q, minus 2q is equal to 2. Now what is minus 4q minus 2q? Minus 6q. So what do we get? 32 minus 6q is equal to 2. Variables on one side, constants to the other side, shift 32 to the other side, we get minus 6q is equal to 2 minus 32. 2 minus 32 minus 30, so minus 6q is equal to minus 30. So q is equal to minus 30 upon minus 6, minus minus plus, and 6 5s are 30, we get q is equal to 5. Once you get the value of q as 5, is the sum over? No. We are still to find the value of p. So now the question is how to find the value of p. To find the value of p, we need to substitute q is equal to 5. Where we should substitute? Either in the first equation or second equation or third equation. The choice is absolutely yours. But if you remember, we normally substitute in equation number 3 in the substitution method, right? So let us substitute q is equal to 5 in equation number 3. What do we get? Equation 3, q is equal to 5. We get p is equal to 8 minus 5. Instead of q, we write 5. Right? 8 minus 5 is 3, so p is equal to 3. So we got the value of p, we got the value of q. Now the question is the sum over? Not yet. Because we are not interested in the values of p and q, we are interested in the values of x and y, because those are the variables, right? The variables which are given in the question. So now let's find the values of x and y. But what do we do to get these values? See, we already know the value of p and we already know the value of q. From this we want the values of x and y, and we already know the relation between p, x and q, y. Look at the substituting statement. 1 upon x is equal to p and 1 upon y is equal to q. We know p, we know q, we can easily find out x and y. Simple. How to write the statement? Substituting 1 upon x is equal to p. So now it will be resubstituting p is equal to 1 upon x. So now let's resubstitute p as 1 upon x. What is the value of p we got? 3 is equal to 1 upon x. After resubstitution, now cross multiply. X will go in the numerator, 3 will come in the denominator. Cross multiply. We get therefore x is equal to 1 upon 3. X 3. Right? You got x. Now to find y, let us resubstitute q as 1 upon y. Substituting 1 upon y as q. So resubstituting q is equal to 1 upon y. Chalo. Let's resubstitute q is equal to 1 upon y. What is q? Phi is equal to 1 upon y. Cross multiply, we get y is equal to 1 upon phi. You got x, you got y. Write the final answer. X is equal to 1 upon 3 and y is equal to 1 upon phi. Is this concept clear?